In the beginning, the gods created Anenu Oroni, the planet of omen, and in the 5th year of the Age of Myth, where the jungle of bending meets the land of pinnacles, arrived the weary travelers known as keepers of the knowledge of plants. The mere party of 7, with only their personal effects and the few provisions remaining in their wagon, began to write the next chapter of dwarven history here at Misstar Erok.
While the dwarves were certainly relieved to find refuge, Medtob Dushimrilbit was rather disappointed to find the river still frozen. For Medtob, fishing was not a job nor a responsibility, neither labour nor hobby. It was his very essence of being. Fortunately for the rest of the caravan, the frozen river allowed for safe passage to their new hillside settlement. Monom Ushatbesmar, the humorless expedition leader, carried more than her fair share back and forth across the slippery ice.
Wouldn't it be grand to just take my life off and do nothing for the rest of my days? No. Not yet.
The gods showed favour upon Monom for her grit. She turned around and found not only had the river thawed, but also that it was not, in fact, a river, but a rather shallow brook, a welcome discovery for the stumpy little dwarves. Things were going to be better here. They are adorable, but don't get too attached. The keepers of plant knowledge, while talented farmers, fishermen and cooks, were not nearly as skilled with mining, a blasphemy among dwarven culture. It is no wonder they wound up so detached from their kin. Before the bedrooms were built, they exhausted their last bit of energy and slept on the floor of the cave. Compared to that of their recent exodus, it was dry. Yes, dry. Dry and quiet. Well, mostly. With the workshops open and the bedrooms furnished, it was now time for the keepers' age-old technique of underground irrigation farming. Now all they'll need is a place to trade their useless junk, like rubies, opals, sapphires, diamonds, tourmalines, pyrites, jades, chrysoprases and citrines for something more practical, such as beer, wine, whiskey, and mead. On the surface of Misstar Erok, the fowl and cattle have congregated on the hilltop.
What are you dumb beasts doing? Go over there and eat. Go on. Get.
Be free, little creatures. In less than a year's time, the keepers of the Knowledge of Plants colony expanded from 7 to over 20. Time to get to work. Among the new migrant arrivals came a doctor and a manager, but unfortunately, no one who possessed bookkeeping skills.
How many drinks do we have in the stockpile?
I don't know, Miss Monom. I guess around 100.
About 100? 100 what?
Look, lady, I make alcohol, not spreadsheets. If you want to speak to the manager, his name is Tusid Edimirith, I think. But I should warn you, it is his first day.
Oh, I'm gonna have a talk with him, all right.
By late autumn of the 5th year, the underground irrigation channels were ready. All they needed now was water.
It's frozen! I guess we'll have to dig deeper.
And deeper they dug. In the meanwhile, on the surface, kobold thieves made off with several trivial items, but the dwarves had more pressing issues than a few missing knickknacks and trinkets. The miners dug and dug and dug some more until, at last, they discovered an aquifer. As the aquifer began to swell with natural spring water, it was brought to Monom's attention that Minkot Zugobthob was stricken by melancholy.
What's wrong, Minkot?
Oh, hi, Monom. I'm just a little annoyed. There are no chairs, you know? It would be nice to sit every once in a while.
Chairs? That's what's got you down? Well, hell, let's get some chairs made. Too freaking easy.
Oh, gee, thanks, Monom. Wow, I really appreciate you taking the time to check in on me.
Hey, no problem, Minkot. That's what expedition leaders are for.
Tragically, Monom spoke to Minkot Roughrace, not Minkot Zugobthob. Shortly after, Minkot Zugobthob was found dead. The cause of death was officially determined to be dehydration, but whispers in the community speculated his mental health, and disheartened grumbles questioned Monom's mishandling of the fragile situation.
Well, if that wasn't the best darn thing to happen to Misstar Erok so far.
Heck yes, Azir, you did it. Now how should we celebrate?
If it's all the same to you, I'd like to take an entire minute, just watching and listening to the water flow through the channels. And now, the real magic happens. I'm gonna go dig somewhere else now, I reckon. I'm sure you sons and daughters of the soil will take care of all this mud.
The keepers of plant knowledge, only a year after arriving in Misstar Erok, were ecstatic to finally have an operational garden and waterway.
Okay, dwarves, this is what we came here for. Minkot, where are those sweet pods? Dimple cups, let's see, plant those over there. What about the pigtails? Put those next to the door. We need to get some socks made before too long. Plump helmets, put them everywhere else.
What's that old dwarven saying? When the gods give you plump helmets, make plump helmet wine. With the underground grow operation running smoothly and the tavern wine supply in abundance, it was finally time to build a well. While dwarves prefer alcohol, as living beings, they also require water from time to time. For Ablel Taronzon, that time was right before the well's completion.
I came all this way because I heard this new tavern, the Mouth of Channeling, was all the rave. They are certainly well stocked on a variety of libations, but to my dismay, I find a dwarf lying lifeless in the center of this establishment, along with a duck standing in the doorway. I cannot say I would recommend this hangout spot. 2 stars. Pros. There is a cute duck, variety of drinks, and lots of seating. Cons. There was no tavern keeper, and it smells like duck and cadaver.
Hi there, boss. You think we could have a word real quick? It seems like Foth has gone kinda crazy.
And what exactly makes you say that?
Well, she keeps saying stuff about skeletons and quarries. I think she might have seen a dead body because, there's been 2 people drop dead in the middle of the fortress. But that's not my business. I'm just saying...
By the gods, don't I have enough to deal with around here? First Mincott, then Ablel, now this? And the well project still needs my attention.
Yeah, Monom, I understand you're busy and all. I'm sure she'll be fine. She's probably just trying to craft an artifact or some kind of macabre, dark, gothic style art installation or something. She does like to craft after all. Well, I spoke too soon, I guess. It looks like she just died in that big pile of mechanisms over there. We really probably don't need that many mechanisms. I mean, how many levers are we gonna use? You can't really trade them because they're so heavy, I mean, I hate to bring it up since Fath just died, but this place is really disorganized.
I suppose the lesson in this instance was to build the well sooner.
That would have been wise.
There's gotta be, I don't know, maybe 50 mechanisms over there. There's more mechanisms over there than in a Power Rangers Mighty Morphin Megazord. Remember those? Like, it's a robot, but they're dinosaur-themed. Seems like, production-wise, they would have wanted to build one model, so if they had to make replacement parts, they'd be interchangeable. Sorry, I've just had a long day at work, and I think I'm dehydrated. Good thing we got that well.